After Kabul fell to the Taliban on August 15, 2021, Panjshir province remained the lone defiant holdout, with the resistance forces led by Ahmed Massoud fighting against the Taliban. The Panjshir province, where the National Resistance Force is based, has been turned into a significant battleground for the Taliban as they are yet to gain full control over the region. Meanwhile, multiple videos on social media are suggesting that Taliban is trying to establish itself as an international terrorist group while competing with other militant groups. A report.
A footage was just released on social media, which shows the National Resistance Front forces in Panjshir province of Afghanistan clashing with the Taliban. In the video, NRA fighters are opening fire on a Taliban-operated helicopter. Panjshir province, where the National Resistance Front of Afghanistan is based, has turned into a significant battleground for the Taliban. The NRA forces have claimed that an increasing number of people are joining the organization to combat the Taliban's reign. Taliban have also scaled up its attack against the NRA forces, and one of the video clips shows Taliban helicopters patrolling the hideouts of the National Resistance Front. The interesting thing is that NRA forces claim that these helicopters were being flown by Pakistani pilots, with the Taliban themselves directing the pilots.
The Taliban knows that they have command over the highway that goes through Panjshir and nothing else. The Panjshiris are waiting in the mountains. They are carrying out attacks from time to time, guerrilla attacks from time to time, to harass the Taliban. So the Taliban is taking help from the Pakistani special forces where the Pakistani is concerned, trying to do things. They have got drones. They have been trying to do things, but given the terrain, it's next to impossible because the population does not support the Taliban. So once the Taliban leaves, because they will not climb up the mountains to engage with the NRF, once they leave, and they will have to, because during the winter months, it becomes difficult for you to stay there. Once they leave, the Northern Alliance or the NRF will come back and recapture whatever the Taliban possesses right now.
The resistance forces have continued to counter the Taliban's August 15 takeover. Just weeks ago, the fighters of NRF had issued a video message to the people of Afghanistan, urging them to not be silent. The struggle against the regime is essential, as the Taliban is trying to establish itself as an international terrorist group while competing with other terrorist groups. In a viral video, Taliban Minister for Promotion of Virtue and the Prevention of Vice proudly says, "No group has carried out as many suicide attacks as the Taliban." In another video, Taliban's Interior Minister Siraj Haqqani can be seen claiming that only he had made 1,050 suicide bombers for their goals. The brutality against common people in the Islamic Emirate is as clear as a day to the whole world to see. Recently, a woman named Zainab Abdullahi was killed as a checkpoint in Kabul. People protested carrying her body in front of the governor's office, but unfortunately, it seems that no one is listening to them. In another incident, a man accused of adultery was publicly whipped by the Taliban in Afghanistan's southern Uruzgan province. People in Afghanistan have suffered enough. They need protection and peace now.
To shore up the faithful, to basically build up support, what do? You advertise your terrorist activities. The fact that you are engaging in terrorism, specifically the kind of acts are described vividly. So a lot of people, basically the ones who are attracted towards this kind of activities, come to you. At the same time, somebody parallelly will say, we do no such thing. This is for the international community to tell them, look, we are not engaged in terrorist activities. So they are mobilizing terrorists while at the same time ensuring that there is a legal basis for them to say that we are not terrorist organizations at all, and therefore we should be recognized. This has been going on for quite some time now, I think over 2 decades. Unfortunately, we find that the international community still falls for it, and that is why Pakistan and its proxies, in this case the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, is practicing it.
Common Afghans are paying heavily for both Afghanistan's conflict and its abrupt end in Taliban victory. To abandon the Afghan people now would be a historic mistake. Urgent steps must be taken to address the looming humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan and stave off economic collapse. Even if the assets are unfrozen, humanitarian aid doubles and triples, it will not be enough to mitigate, let alone avert the crisis that Afghanistan is seeing. No matter how much Afghanistan is provided, still there is a crisis that is sliding to become a catastrophe.